Thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Khan. Well, first, please introduce yourself to us, to our community, so they can know who is Dr. Khan.
Yes, so my name is Dr. Adeel Khan. I'm a regenerative medicine specialist, and I was originally trained in sports medicine. And in sports medicine, you have people with chronic injuries or pain, and the options for them are typically anti-inflammatory, cortisone injection, nerve blocks, and if that doesn't work, then it's usually surgery. And so I was like, there has to be a better way, and I came across PRP and learned all about platelet-rich plasma and kind of started helping these people who otherwise wouldn't be helped with the system. And I always thought it was my favorite part about doing regenerative medicine is that you get to help a lot of people who've lost hope. And so that's kind of what I do on a daily basis now. And now just trying to scale the business to help reach millions of people with some of the technology like peptides and new cells and all these things.
Okay, so maybe for you, the first step to become a regenerative doctor was the plasma, was the PRP?
Yep.
Okay, and how about now? Are you using the PRP?
We still use it for like acute sports injuries, like if you have like a hamstring tear or something, and it still works very well for that type of stuff. But then for chronic degenerative conditions and more complex conditions, the signaling from PRP is just not strong enough. So you need something stronger like exosomes and stem cells. And a lot of people are coming to me now because they know me as a stem cell doctor. So they come to me for stem cells. They're not coming to me for PRP anymore. But we still have a team in Toronto that does a lot of PRP.
Okay. Well, we know that you have this Eterna project that is already known all around the world. So let's talk about a little. Do you want to tell us a little about Eterna? How was the start? How was it now? And what's the next step for Eterna?
Yeah, so Eterna Health is the company I started about two and a half years ago. So it wasn't that long,
Yeah.
but it's been a crazy 2 years. Just insane amount of growth and opportunities. And the vision I had with Eterna was to make regenerative medicine mainstream. That was basically my goal, was how do I get more people interested in this, and how do we make this more accessible, meaning it's easier to access so you don't have to travel, or you can get it for cheaper pricing, because obviously there's pricing issues. And so I was kind of thinking about how do we do that, and I thought the best way, I thought about Tesla, like in 2000, what he did was he gave their cars that weren't very good, he gave them to big celebrities for free. At like his $150,000 Roadster, whatever that came out, and then he would just get, and a few people tried it, and they're like, oh, it's pretty good, and then they would tell their friends, and they would start buying it. And so I kind of copied that model, where I was like, okay, well, let me get some celebrities who are high profile, and then maybe give them some stem cells, and they can try it, and then if they like it, they're going to tell their friends, and that's kind of how it started. I started with small celebrities, but then slowly just worked up. And when you have a good product that you believe in, then other people are obviously going to buy into that too. Because obviously I believed in this stuff for myself, but now I think the future for us at Eterna, I don't think we're planning to open like 100 clinics or anything like that. We may have, but the goal is to develop technologies, like next generation technologies, such as gene edited cells, even, FMT, fecal microbial transplant, but basically treating the whole system and getting people to understand that the body is a system and it's not fragmented like the traditional system where they treat you, they treat your stomach, they treat your heart, they treat your liver, they have different specialists, but the body works as a whole. So I think the goal for us is to integrate all these different therapies so that you can get the whole system to work better.
I know now you're the celebrities doctor, but among the doctors, you're a celebrity. So I want to know, not how does it feel, but how does that a doctor from Oakville just reach that level? You already said like your strategy, like your marketing, like all that stuff, but I want to know like a few tips for the med students to follow that kind of dreams.
Yeah.
It's a big dream, and you're doing it.
Yeah, exactly. It is a dream. It's kind of like I would have never thought this was possible when I was in med school or when I was trying to get into med school. And for me, it was coming from a genuine desire to want to solve problems and to help
Okay.
people. I think at the end of the day, you have to have good intentions, and if you really want to make a difference in people's lives, and you're willing to be curious, curiosity is the biggest thing. Because what happens to doctors after they finish their medical training, they lose their curiosity because they're so burnt out from all the studying, from everything, and they just don't want to. They're not curious anymore. But then, so that curiosity is one thing that you really have to cherish and almost try to make it a game for yourself. So you almost become addicted to learning. That's kind of what I did. I just became addicted to learning because that's what I enjoy. But I kind of trained myself to do that. And then I think the other big thing I would say, one of the best pieces of advice I got was try to do something that's scarce but high in demand.
Okay.
So, for example, as a sports doctor, what's super high in demand is chronic back pain. And there's lots of people who have it and lots of people who don't get good solutions. And it's a scarce resource because there's only a few spine specialists who can treat it. Or like you have to be very advanced spine training to know how to do that stuff. So that was one thing I started doing with regenerative medicine, and I was the first doctor in Canada to really use regenerative medicine to treat spine. And then that's kind of what made me well known in Canada. And then obviously I ended up treating like Kim Kardashian's spine too. But I wouldn't even know how to treat spine if I never sought out that skill set, because it's not like I was taught that originally. So, but I sought it out because I knew that it would be something you could bring a lot of value to people and help a lot of people. But then it's also something that can bring up your credibility and notoriety.
Now let's talk a little about all the technologies that you're using for your patients, like the nerve stimulation, like the stem cell therapy, like the TRT, like the follistatin gene therapy. I want to know how to decide, because all that are really new therapies, and how do you can decide, okay, for this patient this one, for this patient this one, when there is not a lot of evidence? You're creating the evidence.
Yeah, exactly. Real world evidence.
Yeah.
And that's where you have to take what's called like a first principles approach, which is basically where are the principles that govern how the body works, and trying to use that to kind of reverse engineer what's going to be the most likely therapy to help this person. So obviously you can do your data and your assessment and all that to kind of figure out a plan, but a lot of times it comes down to this principle of trying to get like the reset, let's say, in the immune system, the reset in the nervous system. How do we reset your body to go back to the way it was? Or how do we reset things so that they work better? So that's kind of the guiding principle. And then there's different therapies that can do that. And depending on what the problems are, we can do that. Another, I guess, big therapy I would say that I am starting to talk about more now, that's, I think, very big for regenerative medicine too, is what's called subtractive medicine. So subtractive medicine is basically removing bad stuff from your body. So like removing microplastics, pesticides, heavy metals, all these things build up. And even if you do stem cells and you have all this garbage in your body, they may not do much. So you have to remove that stuff. So that's where these subtractive medicine technologies are evolving too. And again, you're right, there's not like just been clinical trials combining subtractive medicine with this, immune cells and stuff, but then that's where we get real world evidence and results and all that, and the case reports and publishing that. I think that at the end of the day, what matters to me is my patient getting better or not. Okay. You know what I mean? I don't care so much about the evidence. Like, yes, evidence is important, but it's not the end all be all. There's lots of drugs that are approved and have lots of evidence, but they don't actually do very much, or they may even be harmful. So
I thoroughly agree. Okay, thank you. So finally, what's coming for Dr. Khan?
Retirement. No, no,
2026, come on.
I plan to live for another few hundred years, so that's
okay.
No, but basically, I think we're really going to focus on scaling some of the technologies I'm involved with, like the mu cells, like the peptide company, like just trying to get those to as many people as possible, because I think they can help millions of people, and that to me is something way more than I could ever achieve as an individual doctor. Because as an individual doctor, even if I treat 50 patients a day, you can only treat so many people. But if you build a scalable platform with technology, then you can help millions of people. And
so maybe we can wait for a Khan method. to see
Yes,
patients with regenerative medicine.
yeah, it's the Khan protocol, eternal protocol, I guess.
Okay,
Yes,
that will be
definitely.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Khan, thank you so much for this little interview, and we hope to see you here in Mexico again really, really soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you.